Hi, my name is Lindsay Prince, and I did General Tao chicken. And historically, this dish was created by a Chinese chef named Chef Pang. In 1955, Pang made a dish in Taiwan for a banquet, and he named it after a war hero, which we now just call Tao. And by 1970, the dish had made it to the menus in the States. And a contemporary issue with this is that it was severely Americanized, and Pang was disappointed when he saw this because it was taking away from the originality of his dish. And politically, there wasn't much information on this, but just from the time period, this was around when was defeated by the communists during the Revolution of 1949. Religiously, there's no correlation with this dish, but ethnically, it's a Chinese cuisine. And culturally, the banquet it was created for highlights the cultural traditions of the Chinese. And just again, the social issues is that when it came to America, it was Americanized. Nutrition wise, this dish is great in protein. And what I found, the portion size, this is a 30-piece order, and this is kind of a lot of chicken, but it just shows how much protein is in it. So in 30 pieces of chicken, there's 90 grams of protein. And in a 30-piece order, a person can fulfill a full day's worth of niacin. And even though this dish is a great source of protein, it's very high in calories, fat, and sodium. And the grown portion of this dish is the rice and the vegetables that it's eaten with, but the chicken is the main component. In relationship to disease, this dish is not healthy by any means, but adding vegetables and rice can make it feel healthy, but there's just so much fat and sodium in the chicken and the sauce. And it says not recommended for weight loss on a lot of the websites that I found. But a 30-piece portion could put a person over the recommended sodium intake per day, which is pretty bad. But with all this being said, everything is okay in moderation, and there's no direct correlation to disease. However, if you eat this meal a lot and you're not exercising and stuff like that, it could lead to cholesterol issues or other health issues. For the ingredients and preparation for the chicken, these are the ingredients. And to cook the chicken, you would just coat it in cornstarch and deep fry it. However, it doesn't need to be deep fried, it just needs to be crispy. This is for the sauce. And the sauce needs to be sticky because it has to coat the chicken. And for the rice, you just cook that rice and stir fry the vegetables. Agriculturally, for the chicken itself, it's not affected by the seasons. And same with the rice, like rice is kind of accessible at all times in present day. And availability, because it's not affected by the seasons, this dish should always be available. But I thought of something that could have potentially affect the availability, and that was during the chicken shortage and the peak COVID-19. And I'm sure restaurants struggled to serve multiple dishes in one evening for a short period of time, especially if they're doing like the 30-piece orders. Sustainability, this dish keeps you full for a long time, especially when it's eaten with rice and vegetables. And I can attest to this because I was full for like 5 hours after I ate it. Tasting, I enjoyed this dish. However, I don't really like spicy foods that much, and this was pretty spicy. It wasn't like unbearable, but I would have liked it to be less spicy. And I got this at Stokely and put it over rice, and there was pineapple peppers and onions with the chicken, and it added more flavor. But this is just another example of how it's Americanized because the original did not have pineapple and peppers and onions in it. This is a picture of the food that I ate at Stokely. I ended up putting a lot of the chicken, pineapple, peppers, and onions on it. I had eaten some of it, so that's why it doesn't look like that much in the picture. In comparison, I love Chinese food, so when I saw that the dining hall was serving this, I decided to do my food presentation on it. And I was surprised to learn the origin of it and how the recipe has evolved since making it to America. It's just kind of sad that it was Americanized so much, but this is how it goes with a lot of non-American foods. And culturally, for me, everything that I eat is pretty Americanized because that's just how I've grown up. Um, but if this dish was on the menu, I'm not sure I'd get it again because of the spiciness, but I would encourage people who don't mind spicy foods to try it. And these are my references.